Okay, item 6E, Economic Development Presentation from Jefferson County Economic Development ThriveED Executive Director Deb Reinbold. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon or good evening. And how do I follow that, right? So my name's Deb Reinbold. I'm the department head for Jefferson County in the economic development work and also the president of Thrive Economic Development, which is the 501c3 arm. Let's see if this works. Going the wrong way. So about 2 years ago, I started leading the organization. And just before I started, we had a 2-day retreat with both of our boards. And these are the 4 different areas of our focus. So diverse housing, thriving businesses, activated workforce, and trust and partnerships. And I should also mention, we're lucky enough to be led on our public sector board by Rebecca Hausman. So in 2023, we worked on 78 projects. 10 of those resulted in new investment and or jobs. I also like to make sure that you know too that not all of the wins are included in here. So for instance, I've got 2 unassisted wins. That means that there's 2 projects that we worked on actively and didn't end up leading to that win. So we want to make sure that when we say that we've got wins, that that if we went and interviewed the companies that we worked with, they would say, yes, we contributed to that. You'll also note a big number on there, $511 million invested. I have to admit that primarily is from one project. We've got a $500 million project up in the town of Aztlan, and we will show you that in just a second. But I wanted to make sure that you were aware that we're working with companies big and small, and these numbers are going to fluctuate from year to year. But a total of 285 jobs, and you can also see the split there as to how those businesses, new business expansion and attractions, how that's split. So on this next slide, Aztlan Bio, again, that's up in the town of Aztlan. And that is one of only 2 large grain processing plants in the world with, don't ask me for details on this, but dry front end fractionation systems. So it's in the former Valero plant. And they are planning on taking corn and basically using every piece of that corn in order to make everything from ethanol to gas to non-animal based protein to, it's just, they're using every part of that kernel. They've already done this work in Hungary, and they've got a facility, Pannonia Biozert in Hungary on the Danube River. What took them 10 years to build in Hungary, they're going to do here in 5. So $500 million investment. The other thing you'll see on the right is Palermo Pizza. They occupied the former cold storage facility up in the city of Jefferson, and we assisted them with that location, that expansion into the city of Jefferson. And as they said in their headlines, 50 million pizzas a year and 180 jobs. As we're looking forward to business growth, BioForward Wisconsin, or biotech, is something that we think is really a huge opportunity for us in Jefferson County. As you'll see there in Madison and in Milwaukee, that's where the 2 concentrations of those types of businesses are. One of the reasons it's really attractive to us is the really high paying jobs that go along with it. In 2023, Wisconsin was designated as a regional tech hub for biohealth. That's a huge opportunity for us. So when they go outside of the country, and it also gives us credibility, of course, within the country, but it shows that we are a state leader in biohealth. And I know a few people have asked me what that means. And so it brings together research labs, medical device manufacturers, and engineers to build technology that supports personalized medicine by tests, treatments, and therapies specifically tailored to a patient's genetic code and medical records. So this original the initial designation provided $350,000 in strategy development grants to increase local coordination and planning. They recently, within the last month, have applied for a $75 million grant. So that phase 2 award to support 6 interconnected projects designed to transform the state again into that global health leader. So last month, we hosted an education session with the president of BioForward, Lisa Johnson, a site selector that works in the biohealth field, and then also with our Department of Workforce Development to try and make sure that we're best positioned in order to attract those types of businesses. Next, I wanted to show you is we've got a large concentration of food and beverage manufacturers within the county. And so we've joined Fab Wisconsin, which is a food and beverage They work with food and beverage manufacturers throughout the state. And what we want to do again is position ourselves with our strengths. So you'll note that food and beverage manufacturers and biohealth companies work with a lot of the same suppliers. So if you think about some of the canisters that they use for food and beverage manufacturers, some of those are repeated. And so they can use a lot of that same supply chain. And we have access, of course, to the workforce here that's already trained to support food and beverage manufacturers. So you'll see this is an example of an ad that we had in the Fab Wisconsin annual publication. And so we are actively trying to support the entire county in attracting those food and beverage manufacturers. Okay, it's not moving. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Oh, there we go. So as I'm sure you've all heard, there's a little company called Kikkoman that's going to be coming into the city of Jefferson. Part of the reason that we won that project is because we had 100 acres that was able to move very quickly in order to bring that company here into the county. The property on the east side is bordered by rail. On the west, you see we've got Highway 26. And they also had the electric capacity in order to support this project. So just so you're aware, this company was looking for 20 megawatts of electrical power. And that's basically the same amount that the entire city uses on an annual basis. So they had that capacity because of the closure of the Tyson facility. Moving on from businesses into housing. So I know this is something that Craig's going to talk to a little bit later. Hopefully that moves forward. But we started May 18th of last year. Actually, we hosted our a housing summit. And there we learned from Kurt Paulson and also from Eric Dorshing from Tracy Cross and Associates about the need for housing throughout the county. So at that time, before a lot of these announcements that we just went through, we were told that we had a shortage of 3,500 to 5,250 market rate housing units. And that did not include affordable housing. That didn't include luxury housing. And we're still waiting for those developments to happen. And part of the reason for that is because it's really difficult to make financing work to support these when you've got high construction costs and you've got high interest rates and lower rents. It makes it really challenging for those pro formas to work. And so we created what we call the Live Local Development Fund. This fund has 3 investors at this point. We're working on another few, probably hopefully another $4 million. But right now we've got $5.5 million in this fund. The Greater Watertown Community Health Foundation has invested $1.5 million. Jefferson County has taken $1 million from the sale of the county property and $1 million of ARPA funds to include in this fund. And then Exonia Bank came in at another $1.5 million. And I'm sorry, the foundation came in at 2. Exonia Bank came in at $1.5 million. So $5.5 million that we can help to incent. It is a lower interest loan that we can offer to developers, just to be clear. We also hosted our annual meeting and focused that on diverse housing. We called it Creating Roofs and Roots. And that was our way of kind of leading into the, we had a speaker from WHEDA, the Wisconsin Housing and Economic Development Authority, and was talking about some of the funds that the state had put aside to support affordable housing. We announced at that point that Habitat for Humanity of Waukesha County was expanding into Jefferson County. And then also had a speaker from HUD. So you'll see on this next slide. There we go. On January 29th of this year, we received our HUD certification. The different items that are on there are the different areas that we are certified to counsel homeowners. So our goal here, again, recognizing that interest rates are high, construction costs are high, that we want to make it affordable. People who have homes or people who are looking to buy homes here, we want to be able to support those efforts as well. And so those people who make less than 80% of the county median income are eligible for up to $20,000 worth of grants. And we can counsel them in order to get those awards. I should note that of the 3 closings that we've had already since January 29th, 2 of those were people who were buying homes in the city of Fort Atkinson. There's also a home improvement and rehabilitation loan program, and that's a 0% interest loan with no payments or interest until time of transfer. And so once they sell that property, that's when they actually start, they have to repay back that loan. But that's also for people who make less than 80% of the county median income. And also it's for items such as a new roof, if they need new windows, a air conditioning furnace, or if they need to make it ADA compliant. So those are some of the things that are eligible. Activated workforce. So last year we hosted 2 career fairs with the Latino Academy of Workforce Development. We recognize that in the county, our birth rate is declining. The only way that we're seeing an increase in population here is through the migrant population. And so we're trying to tap into that and help get them into our workforce and help our employers so that we can attract some of these larger projects. We're also working with the Jefferson County, it's called JC HERMA, Jefferson County Society for Human Resource Management. And on August 6th, they will be hosting what they're calling the Seeking Asylum Seekers Conference, which means those people who are seeking asylum, we are working with the employers so that they understand the process to hiring people legally here within the county. And then finally, on workforce there, we've got the Wisconsin Economic Development, WEDC, Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation. And they have asked me to be a talent attraction ambassador. And what they do is they've got this, this whole marketing campaign throughout the country. And they're focusing primarily on the Midwest because they recognize that's going to be the easiest area for us to tap into talent. We just had a meeting actually on this on Monday. We've received 6 leads as of today. I've talked to 3 different people, one of them from Pittsburgh, one of them coming in from Mexico, another one from Louisiana. And really what they were trying to do is they were trying to become familiar. How do I convince my husband that we should move there? We recognize that it's cheaper to live here, or they've already got a job here and they want to know what it's like here. So that's really our mission there. I'm trying to keep this fast. Upcoming events, we've got a Conversations with Thrive on May 8th. So tomorrow afternoon at the Drafty Cellar up in Watertown. And I appreciate all of you. I know a lot of you have come to some of our Conversations with Thrive's events in the past. And so I hope to see you tomorrow. Ben Waymeyer, the county administrator, is doing a State of the County a presentation on July 25th. We've got our next Conversations with Thrive event then on August 7th, location to be determined. And then on October 10th is our annual meeting. I'm excited to announce that Michelle Comerford, who is the site selector who worked with us on Project Dove or the Kikkoman project, she's going to come in and she's going to talk about how we were able to land that project here in Jefferson County, and also how do we become more competitive as a county so that we can continue to land those types of projects. Thought it'd be important just to note some of the investors that we have within our to support our organization, and then also thank all of you for your continued investment within Thrive. And that's it. Thank you so much. And let me know if you've got any questions.